The Joe Rogan Experience.
What are you telling me about acid? Tell me.
Right into it.
Yes, because it was very, and I stopped you because it was too good. It was it was very interesting.
Well,
you were saying that you did it once, and you were in a bathtub, and it was interesting. But then you did it. Where were you the second time you did it?
So the first time I did it, I was with 3 other people, and we it was celebrating someone's birthday, and all my friends are like pretty spiritual in that way, like meditative and
annoying.
No, it's good stuff. I love it.
I'm kidding.
I know it can be annoying. I agree. That shit can be
with
really
the wrong people.
100%.
When it's inauthentic, it's super annoying.
Oh yeah. No, I think it's like any other area of bullshit. You pick up on it and you're like, no.
I had 2 different yoga teachers that did the same thing, and with one of them it was amazing, and with the other one it was so annoying.
Yeah.
Where the guy would like chant in class, and he would sing, and I'd be like, get me away from this motherfucker. He was just a bullshit artist. It was like a fake spiritual guy. But then another guy who did it, his classes were all donation based. You didn't have to pay to come.
That's
and you would see ladies pull up in Mercedes and not pay. I'd be like, you dirty bitches. They just wouldn't pay.
Wait, was that the good one or the bad
one? The good one.
Yeah, the good one. Interesting.
He did the exact same thing, but you can tell there was no pretense. It was all. So sorry, I fucked up.
No, I'm with you though. I feel the same way. I have spiritual friends, and it was more of like I laughed for like 8 hours. It was just like laugh therapy, and just around like wonderful people, just good, energetic, and I was high for like 2 days. But I found myself wanting to like go in, and I kept going into his bathtub, and like he had like this glass door, so when you shut it, the sound was really, and that's what I wanted. But I didn't really get to go there because everyone's like, come back, let's all like hang out, and so last week I went with my best girlfriend to celebrate her mother's birthday, and her mom passed away 5 years ago, and we went out to Joshua Tree. It was beautiful. I mean, first and foremost, the thing that I admire most about the process is like setting an intention when you want to heal from it. Like you can party like I did the week before where you're just like hanging out, but I wanted to go somewhere else, and we did. And there was this moment too where we were sitting, just the two of us, we were sitting around a fire, and my friend's been through some crazy, crazy shit in her life, like dark stuff. And there's this like space of sacred pain where like she told me things that she doesn't talk about. And she's like, it comes out, and vice versa. And it was just this like, that's the place where we put it. That's the place where we had love for each other and was like, I see you. I respect all your shit you've been through. And then we went to like the next phase of the trip. And at one point, we were laughing too, going in and out of like laughing hysterically and having like the best time, and then having these like intense spiritual moments and therapeutic as such. Like that's why I love it. But at one point, I don't know how to describe it. Like first of all, the stars like there was like galactic geometry. Like you can just see all this crazy shit in the sky, and it feels alive. And at one point we went up, it was like this cabin, and then you had to walk up the hill for the bathroom and the kitchen. So you were really in the middle of nowhere. And at one point, like the frequency changed, and it went, ooh. And the only other time I'd experienced that was when I smoked DMT like a decade ago. And it scared me because I was like, there is something. There is an energy that just presented itself. And my friend and I experienced it at the same time, which I don't think is a thing that happens for people often. I don't know. Like I've never had, like we were visited by like, it felt like another star system. I mean, it sounds like hocus pocus, but I
don't think it's hocus pocus.
It was amazing.
That's why I wanted you to talk about it. I think we have a limited idea of what's possible in terms of like what reality is. And when you do psychedelic drugs, you experience this thing that you can't experience naturally, right? You have these wild visualizations and you feel like you're being visited by entities and things are communicating with you. And some people say, well, it's hallucinations. Your mind is playing tricks on you and all these things.
Sure. Might sometimes,
it might be that.
For sure.
But also, it might be possible that there's a frequency that you can tap into with these things that's not available to you.
Right.
And that these things are always here.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's a lot of people that think when they're talking about like the UFO phenomenon, there's a lot of people that think these things aren't just visiting from other star systems. They're visiting from other dimensions.
Right.
And that they're there all the time. And they
Correct.
can come in and out and they can go. And we're like, we're like trying to grab ghosts. Like we're like, I just need to bring it home and show everybody proof.
Right.
But you're never gonna have proof. It's like it's not available in this plane. But when you do mushrooms or when you do acid or when you do DMT, you get these windows into like what's around you all the time.
Yeah, I think if you pay more attention to energy in that way too, it's like, this is going to sound super weird, but it is the truth. Like my friend, you know, her mother was this like incredibly like spiritual mystic woman, and she collected gemstones from all over the world and jewels. And one day, KP, my friend, was like, she's like, Suze, I really want you to have some of my mother's jewelry. And it was like a great honor. And I was like, well, yeah, I would love that. And I'm wearing some of it right now. And I started having dreams about her mom. And it felt very like visited. And it wasn't like, it was really beautiful. So like that stuff, when you are taking psychedelics and you have an intention of like settling things, you know, I believe in that. Like the fact that we both experienced this frequency change at the same time. And I was like, are you hearing that? And are you seeing that? Because it was like, whoo, it was like the whole sky, like it flipped. It was like a photo negative. It was so crazy.
I'm missing out, man.
Gary.
I haven't done LSD, DMT.
None of those things?
Let's go.
I've done mushrooms, and I don't know how you can like hang out and be with people. I always I start laughing a little bit, and then I start to find myself I'll like disappear, and I'll be like hanging out with a tree or some shit.
That's awesome.
But that's great.
That's the best part.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part of mushrooms is nature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something you definitely get from that, you know, feeling re-energized and, you know, kind of like a reset. That's kind of what I get from that.
It's phenomenal for people with PTSD.
Yeah.
People with PTSD, a lot of soldiers experience these mushroom trips and just relaxes them, relieves them of a lot of the pressure that they have.
Yeah.
You know?
It's, but like per your point, like it is important to make sure you're in good hands with whoever you're doing it with. Like, and it could be like when you're good buds, but like sometimes like, you know, when some folks don't quite have a handle on their darkness, you probably don't want to do acid for the first time with somebody like that, you know, and that's no disrespect to people, you know, that have shit to deal with. It's just like, cause there's no seatbelt, you know, like you're just going.
Yeah, that was my kind of first trip, was hanging with a bunch of folks, and we hadn't done it before.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you know, the guy's house we were at, he was like, "Y'all need to get the fuck out of my house right now."
No,
I'm in high school. I was skipping high school. I'm skipping high school, and so we spent the whole day, we're like tripping balls, right? And then all of a sudden he freaks out, and so I got to go home, and I'm skipping, so I just kind of standing out, walking around my neighborhood, staring at the sun and shit with nowhere to go. I finally go back to my house, tripping balls. My mom's there, my little sister's there, my grandma's there. Know? Nah, I just went up to my room and just curled into a ball.
I remember one time tripping, and it's only happened to me once, but one time tripping where I felt like I could see the patterns of existence that aren't available with the naked eye. Like I could see that there's like some weird like grid to everything.
Yes, the grid. Yeah. You've seen the grid.
Yeah,
I've seen the grid.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like the Matrix. It's so weird. You kind of like.
And you feel like you can almost step through it sometimes.
You can.
Too.
You can in meditation too. No, it's for real. I have seen the grid as well.
Catch new episodes of The Joe Rogan Experience for free, only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.